Okay, so this is going to be similar to your last video. It's just more practice. So it's when our first number in the front is going to be a number instead of 1, like this. So first I check to see if there's a GCF. Always check to see if there's a GCF first to make it easier. And this one doesn't, so I'm going to send this back. So I'm going to get w squared plus 13w plus 30. So things that multiply to get me 30, that adds to get me 13. So I got 15 times 2. I got 10 times 3, negative 10 times negative 3, negative 15 times negative 2. Negative 30 times negative 1, 30 times 1. But 10 times 3 adds to get me that 13, so I can go ahead and erase all these other ones. So I'm going to have x plus 10 and x plus 3. Okay, and we sent a 2 back, so we got to bottoms up it. So divide all these by 2. So I should get 10 divided by 2 is 5. Bottoms up because it's a fraction, so 2x plus 3. Again, I want you to FOIL all of your answers to check them to make sure that you got them right, because a lot of people make mistakes on these. Okay, make sure that there is nothing that they have in common that we can pull out, so I don't think any of them have extra p's or divisible by 2, so we're going to send this 2 back. So I'm going to get p squared minus 7p minus 80, so multiply plus, so I got negative 8 times 10, negative 10 times 8, negative 40 times 2, positive 40 times negative 2, negative 4 times 20, 4 times negative 20, negative 80 times 1, 80 times negative 1, 5 times 16, negative 16 times 5. Okay, I think I messed up typing this too, so this I think is supposed to be a negative 11, in which case this is my answer here. So pretend that that was supposed to say negative 11. So I'd have x minus 16, x plus 5. And then I sent a 2, so I need to divide both by 2. So x minus 8, bottoms up, 2x plus 5. So there's my answer. So I apologize for messing that up. It should have been an 11. Okay, let's see if there's anything we can pull out. See if any of them are divisible by 3. 20 is not, so we can't do that, so we're just going to send this back. So things that multiply to get me 36, add to get me 20. Got 6 times 6. We got negative, well, there's 2 plus signs, so we don't have to worry about negatives in this sense. We've got 3 times 12. Got 9 times 4. 2 times 18. Oh, that adds to get me 20, so x plus 2 and x plus 18. Okay, and we sent a 3, so we divide everything by 3. This one has to go bottoms up because it's a fraction. And 18 divided by 3 is 6. So there's my answer. Okay, it looks like all of these can be divided by 2 as my GCF. So I'm going to have 2 on the outside, and I'm going to get 3g squared minus g minus 10. Now we can send it back. So 2 times g squared minus g minus 30. So let's see, I got negative 6 times 5. Oh, that gives me negative 6 plus 5 gives me negative 1. So that's my answer for that. So g minus 6 and g plus 5. Okay, and then I sent a 3 back, so I got to divide by 3. So 2 times g, 6 divided by 3 is 2. 5 can't be divisible by 3, so bottoms up. So 3g plus 5. And again, don't forget the GCF on the outside. Okay, let's see if all these are divisible by 3. And they are, so let's divide them all by 3. So I'll have 3 on the outside, x squared plus 3x, minus 28. So multiply to get me this, but adds to get me that. So I got, let's see, negative 7 times 4, 7 times negative 4, 14 times negative 2, negative 14 times 2. 7 times negative 4 gets me it, so I'm going to have my 3 on the outside still. X plus 7, x minus 4, and we didn't send anything through, so there's my answer. Okay, let's look to see if there's a GCF. It doesn't look like there is, so we're just going to send this 5 back. So I'm going to get z squared minus 17z plus 70. So let's see. I can do 10 times 7, 35 times 2. Oh, we can make those negative, so negative 10 times negative 7, negative 35 times negative 2, and there is my negative 17 added together. So I'm going to have z minus 10 and z minus 7. We sent to 5 back, so we're dividing by 5. So z minus 10 divided by 5 is 2. And 7 can't be divided by 5, so bottoms up. And there's my answer. Okay, so I recommend pausing the video here and trying this one yourself to see if you can get it right. So I'm going to send this 2 back because it doesn't look like there's a GCF, so I'm going to have m squared minus m minus 30. Automatically I think of negative 6 times 5 because that adds together to get me that negative 1. So I'm going to have m minus 6, m plus 5. I sent a 2 back, so we're going to divide everything by 2. So I'm going to get m minus 3, bottoms up, 2m plus 5. Okay, and this is the last one, so you might want to pause it. It is a big one. It looks hard and ugly, but it's not. So I recommend pausing it to see if you can do it yourself, and then checking your answer with me. So first I checked to see if there's a GCF. So I checked to see if 3 or 5 or 15 might be a GCF. And it looks like we can divide all of them by 3. So then I'm going to have my 3 on the outside. 5r squared plus 47 minus 30. Oops, there's supposed to be an r there. Okay, let's see what multiplies to get me this, but adds to get me this. But before we do that, I realized I messed up already, and we have to send this 5 back, because I couldn't think of anything big enough. So I'm going to have r squared plus 47r minus 150. Now we see what multiplies to get me this and adds to get me this. So I'm going to make the list really super quick, and I'm going to pause the video so that I can write it out, and you can see all the different things that multiply. Okay, so here are some that I've been able to write down. So I'm trying to add to get 47, so 50 times negative 3 gets me that. So we got r plus 50, r minus 3, and we still have our 3 on the outside for my GCF, and then we sent a 5 back, so I got to divide 5 from both of these. So I'm going to have 3 on the outside, r plus 10, that's a fraction, so we got to bottoms up it. And there is my answer. Again, do not forget the GCF on the outside.